We are going back to the muddy hills of Korea, back to the makeshift tents and the smell of antiseptic, back to the laughter that somehow survived in the middle of a war. MASH first aired on September 17, 1972, and when it ended on February 28, 1983, a record-breaking 125 million Americans sat in front of their televisions. 125 million. That is still the most watched television finale in American history. Not a Super Bowl, not a news event. A sitcom about surgeons in a war nobody wanted to remember. Number 1. Alan Alda, Captain Benjamin Franklin Hawkeye Pierce. Born Alfonso Joseph de Abruzzo on January 28, 1936 in New York City, he was 36 years old when MASH first aired, and honestly, he almost never showed up at all. Hawkeye Pierce was not just a character, he was the moral compass of the entire show. A brilliant surgeon, sharp-tongued, deeply compassionate, and furiously anti-war. Alan did not just act the part, he lived it. He wrote 19 episodes, he directed 32, he became a producer and creative consultant. He was the only cast member to appear in every single one of the 256 episodes. Every single one. At his peak, Alan Alda was earning $300,000 per episode. He was the highest-paid actor on all of American television. After MASH, Alan did not disappear. He worked alongside Woody Allen in Crimes and Misdemeanors. He earned an Oscar nomination playing Owen Brewster in Martin Scorsese's The Aviator. Today, at 90 years old, Alan Alda's net worth is estimated at $50 million. He is still here, still sharp, still the heart of MASH. Number 2. Wayne Rogers, Captain Trapper John McIntyre. Born William Wayne McMillan Rogers III on April 7, 1933 in Birmingham, Alabama, he was 42 years old when he walked into the 4077th as Trapper. Wayne Rogers was a Princeton graduate, a Navy veteran, a man who did not accept a bad deal quietly. By the end of Season 3, he walked away. No final goodbye episode, no emotional farewell. Trapper John simply disappeared. Wayne Rogers became richer after MASH than he ever was during it. He passed away on December 31, 2015, from complications of pneumonia in Los Angeles. He was 82 years old. Number 3. McLean Stevenson, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake. Born Edgar McClean Stevenson, Jr. on November 14, 1927 in Normal, Illinois, he was 42 years old when he first put on Henry Blake's fishing hat and walked into the 4077th. After Season 3, McLean made the decision that would define the rest of his career. He asked to be released from his contract. He wanted to be the star of his own show. He felt overshadowed in an ensemble cast of 8. The producers reluctantly agreed, and then they did something that shook television to its core. In the final episode of Season 3, titled Abyssinia Henry, Henry Blake received his discharge papers. The whole camp celebrated. He was going home to Illinois. And then, Radar walked into the operating room and read from a small piece of paper. Henry's plane had been shot down over the Sea of Japan. There were no survivors. The script change was kept secret until moments before filming. The tears you see on screen are completely real. It remains one of the most shocking moments in sitcom history. After MASH, McLean launched 4 different sitcoms. He passed away on February 15, 1996, from a sudden heart attack while recovering from bladder cancer surgery in Los Angeles. He was 68 years old. Number 4. Loretta Swit, Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan. Born Loretta Jane Swit on November 4, 1937 in Passaic, New Jersey, to a Polish-American family. She was 34 years old when she first walked onto the set of the 4077th as the sharp, rigid, unyielding Major Houlihan. And she was not supposed to be what she became. In the early seasons, Margaret Houlihan was written as a one-note character, strict, humorless, the butt of jokes, the uptight foil to Hawkeye and Trapper's pranks. The nickname Hot Lips was not meant as a compliment, it was a put-down, a running gag. The transformation of Margaret Houlihan from a punchline into one of the most complex characters on television is largely Loretta Swit's achievement. She did not just perform the role, she shaped it. Alda himself said it clearly after her death. She worked hard in showing the writing staff how they could turn the character from a one-joke sexist stereotype into a real person. She appeared in 251 of 256 episodes. She was one of only 4 cast members to remain for all 11 seasons. After MASH, Loretta continued acting in television films and returned regularly to the theater. In 2017, she published a book called Swit Heart, combining her artwork and her activism. On May 30, 2025, Loretta Swit passed away at her home in New York City. She was 87 years old, natural causes, peacefully, surrounded by people who loved her. Loretta Swit never stopped feeling, not once. Number 5. Larry Lynville, Major Frank Burns. Born Lawrence Levon Linville on September 29, 1939 in Ojai, California, he was 32 years old when he signed his contract to play the most disliked man in the 4077th. And here is the thing about Frank Burns. The character was designed to be hated, petty, cowardly, self-righteous, a surgeon who embraced military rules with a ridiculous, almost theatrical blind obedience. He was the perfect villain in a world full of reluctant heroes. Larry played the character for 5 seasons, from 1972 to 1977. He signed a 5-year contract, and when the producers offered him a renewal for 2 more seasons, he turned it down. He said simply, "I felt I had done everything possible with the character." On April 10, 2020, Larry Linville passed away from pneumonia complications following his cancer surgery at Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York City. He was 60 years old. He was married 5 times and had 1 daughter, Kelly. His ashes were scattered at sea. The man everybody loved to hate turned out to be somebody everybody who knew him simply loved. Number 6. Gary Burgoff, Corporal Radar O'Reilly. Born Gary Rich Burgoff on May 24, 1943 in Bristol, Connecticut. He was 29 years old when he first appeared as Radar in the 1970 MASH film. And when the TV series began in 1972, he was the only actor from the original movie invited to return. Every other major role was recast, only Radar stayed, only Gary Burgoff. Radar was 18 years old on the show. Gary Burgoff was nearly 30. Nobody noticed, nobody questioned it for a second. That's what kind of actor he was. He was born with a condition called brachydactyly, caused by Poland syndrome. 3 fingers on his left hand were significantly smaller than the others. He was so protective of this that the MASH camera crew had a standing instruction to shoot him only from certain angles. For years, most viewers never noticed. His farewell episode, Goodbye Radar, was a 2-part special that left millions of viewers genuinely heartbroken. The teddy bear he carried throughout the series now sits in the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. Today, at 82 years old, Gary Burgoff lives quietly. Number 7. Jamie Farr, Corporal Maxwell Q. Klinger. Born Jamil Joseph Farre on July 1, 1934 in Toledo, Ohio, to Lebanese-American parents. Fast forward to October 1972. Jamie Farr showed up on the MASH set for one single day of work. One day. He was paid $250. He needed the money badly. He needed to buy groceries. He needed to pay his rent. He never expected to be invited back. But something happened that day on set. The character he was playing, a soldier who wore women's dresses to convince the army he was crazy and deserved to be discharged, landed differently than anyone expected. The absurdity was funny, but the desperation underneath it was real. Audiences felt both things at the same time. They laughed, and somewhere deep down, they understood. The producers invited him back for a few more episodes, then a dozen. Then they made him a regular cast member in season 3. For 11 years, Corporal Klinger became one of the most recognizable faces in American television. In 2026, Jamie Farr is 91 years old. He is one of the last 4 survivors of the main cast. Number 9. Mike Farrell, Captain B.J. Hunnicutt. Born Michael Joseph Farrell Jr. on February 6, 1939 in St. Paul, Minnesota. In 1975, when Wayne Rogers walked away from MASH after season 3, the producers had to find someone who could step into the most popular show on American television and not collapse under the weight of expectations. Mike Farrell got the part. He admitted later that when he accepted the role, he was terrified. He said, "I began to sweat at the thought that if this show fails in its 4th season, I am going to wear it around my neck for the rest of my life. The man who sank MASH." He did not sink MASH. He saved it. Mike stayed for all 8 remaining seasons. He wrote 5 episodes. He directed 4. He received Emmy nominations for both acting and writing. He was, by every account, Alan Alda's closest friend on the entire show. He has been married to Shelley since 1984. Today, at 87 years old, Mike Farrell is one of the final 4 surviving members of the main MASH cast. A brilliant surgeon, a classically trained musician, a gifted actor, a patient teacher, and a man who spent a lifetime being far more than anyone expected. Number 10. David Ogden Styers, Major Charles Emerson Winchester III. Born David Allen Ogden Styers on October 31, 1942 in Peoria, Illinois. When Larry Linville left MASH after season 5, the writers faced a challenge. Frank Burns had been the antagonist for 5 years, petty, cowardly, and easy to defeat. Now they needed someone new, but they made a bold decision. They did not want another Frank Burns. They created Charles Emerson Winchester III. There was an episode where he secretly gave money to a group of Chinese musicians. He refused to let anyone know. That quiet moment said more about Winchester's true character than 100 episodes of Frank Burns ever could. Mike stayed for all 8 remaining seasons. On March 3, 2018, David Ogden Styers passed away peacefully at his home in Newport, Oregon, after a brave battle with bladder cancer. David Ogden Styers did everything at once, and he did all of it very, very well. And there you have it, the complete story of the 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. 10 actors, 11 seasons, 125 million people watching the final goodbye. As of 2026, only 4 of them remain with us: Alan Alda, Gary Burghoff, Jamie Farr, and Mike Farrell. If this story moved you the way it moved me, please leave a like. We'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.